Hey Nym welcome back. In a week where we heard Haaland wasn't starting and Foden was benched, many of us had a scary encounter as the official FPL site crashed. Spoiler alert, I was not a happy bunny. If you're loving the content, then please do smash a like on it. Let's try hit 60 likes in this video. That would be absolutely amazing. Do pop me a comment below. Were you affected by the crash? Lastly, if you're new to the channel, then please do subscribe. I am not far off 6k now and it would be absolutely amazing to hit that milestone. Okay, let's have a look at how I got on in spooky game week 14 before looking ahead to how I'm lining up for game week 15. Let's get after this. Pickford, I never doubted you once. Not once, ever. Well, kinda, maybe a few times. But hey, let's gloss over that. That's not the point. He well and truly showed me and I was grateful for his 11 points. My defence pretty much carried my team this week. Trippier with a clean sheet, an assist and bonus points to match Pickford and not be outdone with 11 points. Happy days. I was a little nervous to play Guy this week, but you know what? He got the job done with 6 points and a clean sheet, as did Cancelo. My midfield was a bit meh. I've kept the faith in Zaha and Lord knows why, because he still does next to nothing for just 2 points. The City saga was horrible. I heard we'd get a City lineup leak at like 10:45 AM, so I held off for news on Haaland and I was not really prepared for a Foden benching. I had wanted Saka all week but didn't know where I could squeeze him in with my free transfer, so I thought this is the perfect opportunity. Foden's benched, let's get Saka in. I did it, it said confirmed and then went to an error page. I panicked, literally I panicked. I kept refreshing the page. I knew it would take me some time to get into the app, and when I got there it wasn't refreshing either. You know what, I was so sure the move was done because it was confirmed that I asked out on Twitter if Saka would go straight into my starting 11 where Foden had been. The deadline passed and much to my surprise, getting back into my team, there was Foden just sat there staring back at me. I am absolutely gutted with a Foden 1-pointer this week. I'm still gutted because I really wanted Saka in my team this week, and that assist was the difference between a red and green arrow for me. So long term, we won't know the best outcome yet, of course, but I really think that official need to be looking at a deadline kickoff now to relieve a lot of this stress. And with an hour for people to make transfers, knowing official news, getting the official lineups, it would hopefully mean the site would be less likely to crash and more people would be on a level playing field. I really think that's where we need to move to now. I'm still feeling very bruised from this. Because you know what? People might be thinking, well, Foden owners got off easily if they kept him in their team. That's not necessarily the case because we don't actually know that Foden's going to start. If he starts midweek in the Champions League, that may mean he's benched again in the Premier League on the weekend, so we haven't actually gained anything. Moving on, Martinelli, however, did make up for it a little bit with his goal for 8 points because he's been a little bit quiet of late, so I was very happy for that. And it was great to have King Mo back finally. Okay, so he didn't haul, but with Haaland out, he did at least deliver with 14 points as my captain. Up front, please avert your eyes if you are of a sensitive nature, as my front three is truly awful. I left Haaland in with not knowing if he was benched or not and maybe going to make an appearance. Andreas took his place in my starting 11 with 3 points. He absolutely never delivers when I need him off of the bench. But speaking of Fulham, Mitrovic also disappointed despite a myriad of chances. That said, it probably helped me given how little owned Pickford is compared to Andreas and Mitrovic, so it probably edged the rankings in my favour, that one, even though it's really gutting that both of them blanked. And Tony, wow, what a nightmare he has been. 3 game weeks without a goal and now suspended. Not what I was hoping for with those run of fixtures, and absolutely an easy sell now. All of that means I got 64 points, 859 in total, placing me on a red arrow, the first one in a little while. So, you know, I can't be too unhappy. Somehow I was clinging on to a green arrow until the Arsenal match with the Saka and Jesus assist started my downfall. and then Rashford finishing it in the United match. That sees me at an OR of 37,561. You know what, that rank feels somewhat inevitable after my transfer not going through and my whole front line blanking on me. With that, let's have a look at how I'm currently lining up in game week 15. I have 2 free transfers and a few problems to deal with, as you can see. I was going to do Tony to Wilson on Saturday evening before he rose. I mean, who is buying Wilson on a Saturday evening? This is why the prices should be locked during a game week. It's just madness. Anyway, he did go up in price, but I thought I'd better hold off just in case with so many games midweek. I am not keen on keeping Tony at all, as he blanks and then he has City, so this is why a lot of people are getting rid of him. So he is a locked-in sell for me, and Wilson looks the most likely replacement because basically at the moment there just aren't many other forwards around that price bracket, or to be honest, any higher, that have great fixtures for the next 2 and are somewhat in form. The other reason for holding off is seeing if we get any Haaland news. We've heard at the start of the week that Pep said he was out because of his fever and tiredness, not because of his foot, so that sounds positive. Although he was very much limping in that video, so what we take from that I do not know. But if we hear anything to the contrary, then I may shift Haaland out to fit KDB in with hopefully more safety of start in that City team. But let's wait and see on that one. Rashford and Almiron are also my thinking for the next 2. Rashford has looked great recently and returned this weekend with Villa and Fulham up next, whilst Almiron is the second highest scoring midfielder behind De Bruyne so far this season with 49 points, with Southampton and Chelsea up next. So right now, assuming Haaland is okay, I'll be doing Tony to Wilson, Zaha to Rashford or Almiron, and then I might consider a -4 for Andreas to the other one out of Almiron, Rashford, and benching Mitrovic against City. That would look like this. Really strong midfield. I'm already going to have a bit of a benching headache when it comes to my defence this week, and hopefully shores up my front 3 a little bit as well. If Haaland isn't okay, then Haaland to Wilson, Zaha to KDB and Andreas to Almiron, benching Tony and pushing me playing 5 in midfield again, kicking the Tony problem down the road would look like this. If we were to hear that Foden is benched again in early team news, then he'll go instead of Andreas. Makes more sense, I guess, if he's going to keep getting rotated. But to sum all of this up, Wilson, Almiron and Rashford, or maybe even Anthony, depending on his illness, are my targets this week. So 2 of those will definitely come in, and I'll think on the -4 if Haaland is out, which, if we believe Pep, he shouldn't be. But if he is, then KDB will be my main target, along with 1 or 2 of Rashford or Almiron. Captaincy is on Salah at the moment. If Haaland is okay, it will be on him, no questions asked. If not, I don't feel comfortable on Salah, so I may go with one of my newcomers. So I may take a punt on, say, Wilson, Almiron or Rashford. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. So here are the trending transfers ahead of game week 15. Wilson, Almiron, of course, are the trending players coming in. Trollard is up there. Oh my gosh, yes, I know. I mean, there's a bit of me that wants to go back to him now that he's done so well, but you guys, I don't know if I can. I can't. I mean, it's so much water under the bridge with me and him. Literally, I kind of feel like maybe it's better I just stay away from him and let other people get his points. But it is tempting because he does have 2 nice fixtures coming up. De Bruyne, of course, I guess with Haaland flagged, people are doing that switch that I was just talking about, maybe moving those funds back into midfield for De Bruyne. Or maybe they're just fed up with Foden and they're going back to the safety of De Bruyne. Dalot, been doing well recently. Man United have some nice fixtures, so I can see why people are moving for him. Tony, of course, suspended. He is dropping in price and people are selling en masse. Foden, as I just explained, I think people hate Pep Roulette like anything, so with him not starting last game week, it's looking like an easy sell for a lot of people. However, I would wait and see what news we get on him this week and whether he starts the Champions League. Zaha, yeah, trolls. I mean, those fixtures he's had in the last few weeks, he should be smashing it out of the park. So the fact that he hasn't, even though he still has good fixtures and with Nottingham Forest just around the corner, is very, very tempting to keep him. However, I think with only 2 game weeks left, we may as well take a punt on other players now. Anthony is on his way out. I'm surprised by that. I guess it's because he didn't start the last match. I think we'll have to wait and see what news we have on him and whether he'll be likely to start. And Mount now seems out of favour with a few people after that blank last game week. And that's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to continue helping me and the channel for more helpful tips and tricks and entertainment this season, then please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There are some really exciting things coming up on my channel. I'm going to be doing a Q&A series with Holly Shan, so that's going to be amazing. It's going to be a weekly one. And also I have the FPL Late Show starting on Thursdays with a couple of brilliant ladies from the community, Elizabeth Helenek and Mira, and we're going to be having some really cool guests on that as well. So make sure you do subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know what's going to be going on this channel, because there's a lot coming, especially in the new year. But for now, please check out the sponsors of this video, fantasyfootballfix.com. Until next time, Nimfria out.